Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another caster series from the ESOC Premier League. My name is Harrison, and we're joining us in game number 2 of week number 2 between the only Baus taking on the name Daniel. And for game number 2, we'll be playing on the Arctic Territories map. It's going to be Russia versus France. And today, I'll be joined by the co-caster, Challenger Marco, also known as the Jazz. How you doing, Challenger?
I'm doing very good. Thanks for asking. Very eager to watch the series. Very high level game.
So we have Germany versus France. I might have just said it was Russia versus France, but no, it's definitely Germany versus France. Have you ever played this matchup a few times? What do you think of it?
This is definitely boss main serve. He plays Russia as his main, and probably even Daniel's comfortable serve. So this is going to be really exciting to see because this map is has really good map. Like you can see on the left side, it's really different. And it's probably going to be map control game. You're going to run out of hunts after some time.
Yeah, certainly. I do miss this map from standard map pool. If we look at both players' base, they do have access to a single caribou and a moose hunt, couple trees, double coin mine, some tier 1 treasures. But there's hunts off to the side on an icy plain you can't build on. Hunts out by the trading post field is a bit exposed. There is a defensible cliff in front of your base. However, any hunts past that field a bit into no man's territory. So map control is a crucial element for this map, and you can sit in base, but you do eventually get starved out. And once you do need to push for that. So it does lead to some spicy contentions mid-map. We do see the only Baus here working his way on a 120 food treasure. Looks like he's saving his crack shot though for this polar bear. He's really focusing on the chitin here, but managed to, I wouldn't say mess it up a little bit, but aggro the polar bear. Now he has to commit to his treasure, hoping that he does have a crack shot, because 2 polar bears taking on explorers are certainly too much for him. Checking on as the French player. Let's see what his treasures picked up so far. Baus, table 40 coin, 50 wood on the floor as well, but not really too much else here for the French player. Obviously going for the early trading post here, 1 house, and maybe a little bit of a cheeky snipe here because he's still got crack shots. But I think surely the German player saved his crack shot for this moment. Yes, he has.
Oh, what? Oh, that was really nice. But yeah, his explorer's getting caught now.
Oh, I just need to remember who need to update. And was it Dan who won the first one? Yeah, the Portuguese player on the water. A good game from him indeed. And yeah, guessing the German explorer kind of trapped here. If the German explorer went down, would you prefer to send a settler wagon out to build a train post, or would you bin it and go for a church instead?
Honestly, I would send a settler wagon. The TP is really huge. Can't deny it. The church is like not like a TP, it's like half a TP. So I still prefer, like, if that's the worst case, I would send a settler wagon.
Oh yes, if I was being absolutely precise, it's about 7/10 of a TP. Oh, in terms of
wow.
XP, it's been buffed in recent patches. It's actually really strong. I think quite a lot of people underrate how much XP it provides, and I think German players, well, German and France, they have that same style of wanting to go to the Fortress Age on most occasions. They can do 1 trading post and 1 church, because let's say the second trading post here is in the middle of no man's land. It's a bit risky out this far, but a nice church at home, praying to the god Garja, let him be resting peacefully, nice and safe, never get sieged down, and yeah, continuous passive income of XP.
Yeah. Looks like boss is trying to take the TP. Whoever gets the wood is going to just drop it. In the meantime, you can take a look at the index. Let's see.
Well, more importantly, Dan was sitting around with his explorer. He waiting for this to happen. Went a little bit away, but didn't see the explorer coming from the south. And actually, this could be a dead explorer. I don't really think the German player's going to get up in time. Agent's taking a while. The TP might beat him to it, but that's a dead explorer. It's going to be 2 more hits, and yeah, it's going to be close. Actually, yeah, the native
so
scout as well.
Oh no. Almost. He got it almost. Let's go, villager, come and finish it.
Yeah, I mean, because most of it's built anyway, the villager, sending a villager here is probably the smartest decision compared to a settler wagon. It's just the annoyance, and when the explorer gets revived on the age up, actually Dan might go in for a second bite of the apple here and actually snare him and kill him again for a second time, because you might as well, if the XP is on offer, might as well do it. And yeah, he's upstanding now, only 125 HP. He's going back in. He wants it. He wants it. Is only Baus thinking about it? Oh, he's not on it. He's forgot to pull the Explorer back, and that's going to go down a second time. But yes, let's look at the deck. Here's the German player's deck. He's sending 3 settler wagons first, waiting to get his houses down afterwards. Triple military in Age 2, only 1 upgrade card. Standard rack cards in Age 3 and 4. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it looks standard to me. He does have the winged hussars in Age 4. It's really interesting if he goes like industrial, can really ship those. But apart from that, it looks pretty standard.
Long range snipe. Oh, you cannot leave it at 1 HP! Daniel, what are you doing? Get in there! Oh, and the Uhlans are popping out! They're popping out! No! Oh my... Oh, this is an epic fail. Oh, it was going so well, wasn't it?
Oh, turn the tables around. 200 IQ plays.
Oh, it's brutal. Lives with a couple of HP, and that's instead of 45 XP going to the French player, it's now going all the way over to Germany. Germany gets in another shipment there and then. That native scout's probably thinking I might go back in and try and snap the Explorer, but he's got great value information there. Seeing the 2 Uhlans crossing the field. 700 coins being sent behind, with more Uhlans being trained. Looks like he may choose to complete the batch here to get a batch of 5 out. Maybe close on the macro here, but that's the intention. And yeah, going to try and raid the French player. French player going for a cab defense. 5 hussars popping up the 2 Uhlans there. That's a freebie, that is. And that's actually a well-recovered move there from Dan.
Yeah, and also the micro on the hussars, perfect. Taking minimal damage as possible. Now he's going to send those hussars to raid.
Let's have a look at Dan's deck while we ride with the hussars. He's got double coin shipment. Age 2 stands out to me. A full rack of 10 cards in Age 2, which is actually quite a lot sometimes. Age 3, no real surprises there. Having refrigeration here over Jaegers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this map runs out of food, so not sure about that card in deck.
So Dan in here with the hussars in base. I find this risky because Uhlans do very well versus the hussars in that matchup. Just a batch of 5 Uhlans being trained here from the stable here from Baus is, well, he's not training actually, he's got the 5 Uhlans previously. If those hussars are snared Minutemen, this is a full cleanup here. I don't really see the advantage of raiding with hussars versus Germany. You're just asking to play into the German player's hands, and the German player always will come off stronger in these types of cav engagements.
Oh yeah, but it was a nice escape. Like he traded 1 house back and escaped with those 3 houses. Best possible scenario. Really like it. And
oh no, he's
Daniel...
he's getting revived again, the Dan Explorer, and he will go down
no.
for another batch of 45 experience points. Actually, you could even argue that the this Explorer farming is a better source of income than the trading post. That's another 45, and that will be another shipment. Looking for only Baus though. He's currently trying to get the food to age up. He's sent 700 coin, but he should be aging it by now, but he's not, and this feels a bit awkward. He's got enough shipments spare. Do you reckon he's going to send 1k wood on the age up? Do you reckon he's going to try and send in 700, or is he going to go full shipments as soon as he reaches the 3rd age?
Yeah, it looks like Daniel is trying to age. He hasn't made any units so far out of from those 5 hussars.
Yeah, he's already up. He is aging. Daniel's done it correctly. He's gone for the semi-FF build. The CDB is the wood into the gold. The Baus sending 3 settler wagons into gold. Still not aging. Only imagine just to click up now at the 8-minute mark. Maybe that Hussaro is just enough just to like throw Baus under the bus and just mess with him mentally, because this is all for a 300. No, yeah, for a 3 settler wagon 700 gold shipment progression. This is actually a slower age up time. Maybe Baus training Uhlans and sending 700 gold first. Probably not the right combination.
Yeah, exactly. Got miss macro. Now the Minuteman comes up. He's gonna clean up those Uhlans. Surprised he took the fight over there. Like, we lost all his Uhlans now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so Daniel did call Minutemen, and he traded off his H2 Hussars, which is absolutely fine because he's trading off his H2 units for Baus's H2 units, but soon to be H3 units. He's now training skirmishers, sending skirms, training goons behind this, and you have to argue that his position here from Daniel feels to be a much nicer position, and just get ready to go into that skirm goon competition, which French do so well at, especially in this matchup versus Germany.
Yep.
Ooh.
We gotta see what Germany guy does.
That's weird. I tried to open the AZY last game. It didn't happen, but now the menu's popped down. I don't know why. I don't know how. It is just what it is. There you go. You got a big blue and red bar there for you guys to look at. Look at that. Dan certainly in the military lead. 25 military population versus 14. And obviously all of Baus's population here is just these H2 Uhlans only been upgraded now to the veteran Uhlan as we speak. Are they up to the veteran? No, they're not. Actually, not yet. He's got 900 food. He's now sending in 1,000 wood because he didn't have that wood shipment before. He's got a bit of gold coming in, but he's struggling to basically get anything going. Yeah, he's all hands on deck on the wood crates, and this kind of build order from Baus is just not having that crispness, shall I say? Not Christmas. It's not Christmas time just yet. It soon will be, but that crispness that
solidness.
Yeah, I mean that's another word for it. The score for Balso suggests he's absolutely in a fine position, but I think most of that is because he's been gathering more food than gold in food gathers faster. But you get points for every, let's say, set of 100 resources that you have. So Baus having a high food eco here, making him look like in a really good position. But he's only now getting his veteran tech. He has decent massive Uhlans. He's sending in 8 skirms behind this, but he's got no skirms to do whatsoever. He just doesn't really have... He can't push at the moment, and France is just having a nice time out on the map. Just see 2 Uhlans trying to raid this far left caribou hunt, but it's not being pushed. But the Dragoons are chasing down these Uhlans. Looks like that Explorer has seen the Ville and seen the cavalry. And it's a bit interesting play on the side of the map.
Yeah, Boss did get great codes right now. I did research it. And the native scout is doing actually a lot of work, like the scouting. He knows where Boss' army is. Really paying a huge value.
Yeah, that scout's stationed right here in between this choke. He's getting some great vision, especially now he's in the 3rd age as well. The line of sight of all the units increases, so he's got a good vision of any cavalry which passes through the base towards Daniel's base. But he does see all these villagers on this food line to the left-hand side. I think that's where he's going to start pushing. I've been surprised here from Dan. He's really been sat back, just minding his own business, slowly massing his own units. But he had an opportunity to really push Baus when Baus was struggling with macro, having to send 1k wood. And the fact that Baus has kind of got away with the 1k wood, although he didn't send the 700 wood earlier, it feels like that's a small advantage, a small win there for Baus. He's back into the game, and actually, who's going to win this game? I've got no clue now.
I would probably say Germany, because Germany's H3 strong. Once Germany gets the shipments rolling, probably they can win. But yeah, you have to see. You have to wait for the mercenaries and everything.
Look at these 29 veteran Uhlans. Baus just going pure vet Uhlans, skirm, 29 Uhlans, 18 skirmishers. Have a quick check-in at the French players' army. No holding cavalry just yet. The 3 cuirassiers being shipped, a cuirassier being trained behind this. He really needs to wait for these to actually hit the field first. 24 skirmishers. Does have 16 goons, but if there's nothing to kind of hold the Uhlans in place, you feel that the Uhlan army at the moment is just an edge in their head, but as soon as cuirassiers hit the field to kind of form that meat shield block to prevent the Uhlans getting onto the skirm line or touching the goons into melee combat, I think that then it will go into the French players' favour. And of course, a couple of CDBs with great coats can't go amiss into a final fight.
Yeah, Boss needs to be careful with the Uhlans. Like, it's a huge mass, it will create a parting issue.
I mean, I say final fight, but literally, the German player is literally going to shove all of his cavalry into one place, Z move, and pray if it wins or doesn't, because he hasn't got much kiting potential. He's either all in or he's not. And again, he's finding the skirms. The skirms taking a great path in between trees, barracks, houses, Uhlans. They're chasing the scums. I feel they should be taken onto the goons. This is what he wants to kill. He wants to kill the dragoons, because if the goons go down, then the Uhlans are free to go. And there, a batch of 5 Cuirassiers about to hit the field from the stable. The 3 Cuirassiers are still alive, actually blocking, but the dragoons are kiting back. Only now Bounce is actually focusing the goons one by one. A couple of CDBs being brought into action to try and block and take some damage, but the Uhlan count here from the Bowsers dwindled. There's only a couple on the field, 11 in total, but most of them are the reinforcements coming in. Locally, there's only 2, and I think Daniel's skirm mass has survived. Now it's skirmishers chasing the dragoons, but it's the Cuirassiers eating them all up for breakfast here. I'm seeing +12s everywhere. I'm seeing these German skirmishers straying too far at their depth, and I think that's, well, that's just brutal. That is. That's, oh.
Oh, that was a disaster for sure. Didn't go as it planned.
Yeah, and the thing is, what really didn't help was like there was this massive coin mine here, perfect surface area for all these CDBs to kind of get killed, and then Baus could have ran away if he chose to, in that sense, or at least dragged him out into the open for the fight. That building placement blocking the cavalry spot on, and then I think kind of Baus trying to go in on top of the skirmishers instead of thinking, right, what are my damage dealers? What are my threats in this fight? It's the dragoons. Let's go for the dragoons. And you know, there's only a couple remaining from Daniel, but the ones which did fall, they certainly did enough when they were in combat. And yeah, Daniel taking a decisive score advantage. Germany now sending in Jaegers training war wagons, so changing their composition up a little bit, going for Skirm Goon. What do you think about that?
Yeah, like that should be the standard unit composition, but Germany doesn't have much units right now. So he needs to get time to get the mercenaries out to have a chance. I mean, like, Daniel is just being passive here. He should try to push Germany's economy at this point. He has a huge advantage.
Yeah, 30 CDB is actually pretty strong compared to 33 Vils, which do include probably about 8 wagons. So it's about 30 times by 1.25, 37, 38, and then these extra 8 set wagons, 41. It's probably slightly just in favour in Germans' point of view for the economy and the shipments, but as you say, the shipments are starting to go down a little bit, and I think the kind of cav combat with the Cuirassiers with Dragoons slightly better than Ulan Warwagon in that sense. The Jaegers, though, is going to be the way for him to kind of get back into kind of contest that scum mass. I don't think you'll ever get to that position again, train skirmishers regularly, so try to hope for the the real tankiness and strength for the Jaegers, and spending all the remaining resources into the kind of cavalry behind this. Got another war wagon in the queue, sending in the 8 Ulan behind this, but can't afford that cav combat shipment which he really wants. Meanwhile, Daniel, he's sending in 2 falconets, and that's going to be very, very good versus the Jaegers.
Yep, but looking at the score, it's getting closer and closer. I really like it. Despite losing so much units now, Germany, I think, could be in a spot to contest soon.
So look at the German mining situation. I mean, everyone loves a bit of German economy news occasionally, but yeah, the 2 bases in base have gone. The 3rd mine as well near the trading post has also gone. Also, all the mines on this map are tin mines, so they only contain 1.5 gold, but both players have like 3 coin mines within the close proximity to the town centre. But now Germany has to kind of push out on the field, and has now gone through the 4th. The one, the ice field is a bit contained. We have a fight here. It looks like Jaeger's taking the first volley. 1 Jaeger going down, but actually 1 skirmisher going down. But he actually sees the falconets. I think he's thinking, how am I going to deal with those falconets?
Yeah, he needs to try to get a flank from the bottom. But really want to see how this goes. So this time it's Daniel pushing in.
Yeah, I definitely really like your decision to try and split up the Uhlans, try and attack from different surface, and just try and maximise the surface area of an engagement. I think the war wagons is what he needs to move in to try and snipe the falconets. They have long range here, 16 range, high attack. They're the 1 units who can do it. The dragoons are focusing down the Uhlans instead, so actually the war wagons have got a bit of a chance to actually move in and get the snipe on the falconets. Uhlans on top on the southern falconet. War wagons focusing the top, it looks like. Yes, they are focusing it now, so the falconets do go down. But at what cost? The Cuirassiers just gone through the Uhlan line. The Warwags are now turning onto the Graciers. It's not actually too bad for Germany here. I thought it would go much, much worse, but in terms of populations, it's still holding up pretty well. Minutemen doing their job. Jaegers still standing. And the Warwagons are kind of working their way through the Graciers one by one. 5 Jaegers still remaining, but I suppose in the end, actually, in terms of how they do versus the remaining skirmisher mass, that's the real problem here. There's no more cavalry shipments. Both 9 and 8 Uhlans have gone. And these villas are just parking in the middle of the map, just chilling out, relaxing. Maybe taking a holiday.
Oh yeah, players are starting to feel they're running out of resources. They need to move outside the map. This is where the problem begins. I can see Daniel is pressuring the Germany's economy.
I mean,
Really
look at Bounce's point of view. Like, he went to the middle to try and find a coin mine. This over here is the only coin mine he's got access to, but all the sites are blocked up by France. He doesn't actually know that there's a coin mine which always spawns in this far eastern location. It's like a little hidden treasure trove off the side, but he's lost all the villagers here. These villas are going down the Graciers. I mean, there may have been chance to get in, but with no coin or villagers, I think he's in real trouble. No villagers gathering at all, because he's trying to push these food villas onto this northern mine to try and get something. I appreciate him trying to fight to the end here, but I've got to say, this position looks really toasty.
Yeah, this is so bad for Germany. It's getting denied like for gathering, and his villas are just so far out now that are protected.
So yes,
Yeah, should be a game very soon.
Yeah, well, as you could catch here from the Uhlans onto the Graciers, they're running back to the Dragoons though, but there's enough Dragoons here, reinforcing batch of 5, matching up with 6, and all the skirmishers here still untouched. The Uhlans not even bothering to try and get onto the skirms to try and whittle these down, and the skirms are easily going to overpower the Jaegers and skirmishers here from Germany, and the villas behind us exposed. CDB's going into the fight as well, bringing them in for the action. Good to see. And yeah, just nothing left here from Germany, absolutely nothing left, and yeah, the game has been caught, so Daniel taking another victory here, it seems. It's going to be 2-0.
Yeah, pretty big win for the BIGS so far. 2 points for their team. And Boss needs to win the game to score a point for the team yet. So I guess the next game, Boss locks Sil first. And this time Daniel locked, and Boss counterpicked with Germany. Now it's Boss who needs to lock first.
Yeah, it's alternating pick. Yeah, that first fight went absolutely terribly for Germany. In the sense, I think the populations is bad enough because obviously Uhlans overpop, but what was remaining after that fight from French was just way too much. 45 population of good units, good quality skirmishers, Graciers, and a couple of Dragoons, easy to remass. Only Baus had to send in powerful shipments like the Jaegers, the 8 Uhlans just try and remass. And then the second fight went much better in the open field with the war wagons focusing down the falconets. But dealt with the cavalry somewhat, but the skirmisher mass behind for the French player was never challenged and just was never getting back in, especially now afterwards for the resources. Kind of here a little bit of a flat line there for Baus. His coin eco certainly dried up. Just had to move vills all across the map to try and find more coin from going from such a strong income to barely gathering anything. Right, let's move on to the next game. And unfortunately, we've once again fallen off the back of the next game being played. So we'll have to get it from hot off the press. I've just been sent it, but let's get that downloaded. Copy, get that into the save game file. And let's rename that file rename it as bouncedown3.
Alright, be right back.
Okay. Alright guys, welcome back to the third game of this Play All 5 series. We have an interesting matchup here on Pampas Sierras. I'm seeing a bit of the United States being chosen as Dan's civilization, with only Baus playing as the Russians. I believe Jazz said he was on a break, and he did say beforehand that it's going to be the only Baus picking his civilization first here, maybe? No? I can't quite remember. Maybe it was Daniel to pick his civilization first, and the Russian was the counter pick. I'll get Jazz to clarify that in a second. But yeah, United States spawned to the south, Russia spawned to the north. Only Baus here working his way on 80 coin, but has somebody not informed him of the bountiful yak llamas which occupy the western side of this map, I feel in a matchup where both players have a 4.5 speed explorer, you got to be trying to fight for these llamas, especially going for the middle and trying to take these middle map contestation llamas before working backwards, just like how Daniel was doing here with his explorer. So he's going to pick himself up 3 and soon to be 4 llamas, but if he wanted to push out and try and go for a 5th and 6th, he may actually get quite lucky here, considering how Baus has taken his time to get to this plateau. He could have easily said goodbye to the this llama. But
Okay, I'm back.
no worries. Just saying how Daniel here went to the middle map to get the llamas, and Baus stopped off for a treasure. But then again, Daniel here might have not realised that Baus has stopped off and just assumed that both players would trade llamas equal 4 and 4, which is the case. And yeah, so it seems that Daniel has picked the United States as a counter to Russia here. Can I get your live reaction on that?
Oh yeah, I think I earlier saw this matchup before, and it turned out like it worked pretty well for USA. So want to see how it goes this time.
Well, what did you see last time to make it possibly United States favour? Because I'm looking at the United States deck. I see quite a lot of immigration cards. Card 1. We see the Chinese immigrants here on a 0 TP map. Maybe that's not quite the card to have, but Spanish immigrants possibly. We have state militia as well, but no regulars in the second age. Just not many cards to play with in the first and second. Obviously, you do get the Egypt cards, but I've not really seen a direction here. So have you got any idea? Do you think it's an H2 game or an H3 game will be?
I think USA will try to make some units to defend against Russia, and then probably adapt from there.
Could actually be a what should I say? It could actually be a Virginia state capital age up really fast, gets up to the next stage by like 6:30, and then would mass Minutemen work versus Russia? I think Russia with many kind of infantry in the second age. I think definitely the Minutemen idea works. Sitting back in with multiple town centres, possibly. I don't think Russia can really siege them in the second age. We'll have to wait for basically lots of units siege Opries in the third age, and maybe kind of defensive play into towers could work quite as well.
Yeah, it could. I just want to see like what USA is gonna do. For sure, like USA can hold it up with the Minutemen. Maybe we send the pikes to deal with the Cossacks. If he's trying to go fast fortress. But yeah, as you said, Russia needs siege to get those buildings down.
Baus has even got 600 food in his deck. Does not have team cavalry scouts. Does not have advanced arsenal or spice trade or any other supplementary card in the second age. His third age is also pretty aggressive in the sense that there's no refrigeration whatsoever, and I feel like refrigeration as Russia is a core card. Like everything costs food, multiple TCs, it all costs food. You just need something, and this deck just seems. It's 12 Opries, age 4. I've never seen anybody send that yet, so that's been interesting to see if it does make its place. But then again, 12 cavalry in the fourth age is also a nice card.
Yep. Do we see a block house going down yet? Oh yeah, there we go, in the middle of the map. So yeah, he's trying to do aggressive pressure.
Well, he's already got the market down hunting dogs as well. Mid-map blockhouse, absolutely fine. I don't think he can make it any closer because we could have the blockhouse and the town centre all on one screen. So I don't think he can actually get it any closer than that. But it does secure this Guanaco hunt, makes this Guanaco hunt over here a bit iffy. But Dan still has access to this hunt at the front of his base, but he also got 2 nice hunts behind his base. So he's not actually going to run out of resources if he does sit in base. Maybe gold's a bit of a question mark, but he could go to the side here for the silver mine and expand this way with maybe wall. There's another hunt, another mine, and try and play that way. So there's resources on the map for Dan to sit back into, and I feel that he kind of will be forced into that if Russia's going aggressive and certainly taking the map control approach.
Yep, Russia sending the 5 Cossacks, pretty aggressive. And US is just about to hit H2. They're
Ooh.
getting prepped for the pressure from Russia.
That's a very exposed bank wagon. That is a throw it down anywhere quickly, but that seems to be. It's in town centre radius, I guess. It just seems just arbitrarily forward. It's not really defending. It's not really blocking. It's not really path blocking anything. Like a bank wagon there could be quite nice. Maybe here, possibly tucked up there. Just something to offer a little bit of protection for skirms or anywhere to sit in. State militia, the first card coming in, and looks like, yeah, full-on defense turtle. Try and get up super fast is the play here from Daniel. Doesn't want to lose his llamas. They're actually quite far forward, and they're not actually next to a building. I don't think they'll get confoked. So next to the explorer now, but you never know. That will be bad if that.
He's trying to block with the llamas, actually, I guess, while the wall is getting built up.
Okay, Minutemen being called. Explorers still working nearby. No units being trained. CDBs can fight though. They've got lots of HP. They've got 16 ranged attack. I think most people forget that these CDBs are mightily strong in ranged combat. They kind of fulfill the role of actual infantry as well, so they can do a decent situation versus Strelets. Like, yeah, the CDBs versus Strelets here will do actually very well. Get the fills in. Keep the CDBs out though. That's where you need the most. Engaging with these infantry from Russia. Make good use of that high HP, range resist, and high damage that they have.
Yeah, looks like Minuteman is trying to hold this off a little bit. But yeah, Daniel is trying to age, but he doesn't have the resources yet. And he's fully idled. Sending the state militia now to deal with those Strelets.
Yeah, it looks like he needs the state militia here because he hasn't got the food income whatsoever to try and get up to the next stage. CDB is actually now being dragged into the fight, actually focusing down the Cossack. That's doing quite well, actually. So, and he's just going to try and chase these Strelets down one by one as they get out of my town. But that's fine for Baus, so let's see how he's remassing. Another batch of Strelets. 700 wood being sent behind this. Maybe second blockhouse is on the idea. But he's actually going to give USA player a bit of time here, it would seem. I'm not too sure it's enough time though for him to kind of get a 700 coin in. Well, it actually is. He's actually going to cancel that long right. The 8 state militia. He's actually going to try for the coin crates here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he's going to get idle, so how is he going to deal with this? It's going to be really slow age up. But let's see.
I feel that more villas here could be actually fighting. Like the French immigrants can't give you range resist villagers as well. They all have 10 hand attack. I know that the Strats move faster than the villas, but like these guys tank a lot, especially the CB with hand combat at 40%. These guys should be the first and foremost guys to try and actually put some pressure on attacking. I know he wants desperately to get the food, but there's a bit of actual kind of maybe a little bit of fighting to go with it as well. The coin crates come in. They're now starting to gather the llamas behind us. 8 state militia being sent as to kind of protect during the age up. But will that even be enough? Still got to see the state militia tech being researched here at the state capital. I'm sure that will be researched as soon as the age up's being teched into. And yeah, these villagers get into the town centre. CDB is still at full HP, all of them pretty much. Just one down a couple of HP, but it's not really much of a problem. And Baus trickling Strelets is doing enough harassment. It just feels like he just needs now the 4 Cossacks to go with it, and he'd be absolutely golden.
Oh yeah, but the US guy's really struggling to get the food up. I don't know like what he's gonna do even if he ages up. He's gonna really struggle to deal with the military units from Russia.
It's not like the United States have access to a town militia car as well. The state militia should be just enough to force us back. One CB getting quite low on HP here. Looks like Baus may want to try and pick it off, but CB gets pulled into the town centre. More strats coming into the town centre. And yeah, I did see the 700 gold. I saw the stable. Cossack production is on the way. Ah, no, it's not. It's not even been sent yet. And there's no Cossacks in queue whatsoever. This feels... Baus is having to back off a little bit here. The war's actually getting completed, and that's actually going to buy just the amount of time it requires to eat all these llamas. And yeah, maybe Daniel is actually all right. Maybe he actually can get the age up in complete. He's so close now onto the food required. He's got all the coin thanks to the bank, and he just needs now to get a market in transition. And he should be actually fine to kind of move some of this coin around and get in a fine position.
but he doesn't have a shipment yet. So once he reaches H3, he's
Oh,
going to really struggle
no,
getting a ship.
he's gonna get a lot of XP. He's gonna get the
Oh yeah,
600 XP crates. I think it's certainly a lot. He'll have 2 shipments to play with basically, 2 shipments.
yeah. He also gets the XP grades from Age Up a lot. All right, here we go. Strelets coming in, and Cossacks going to follow up behind.
Yeah, there's the 5 Cossacks now, and the Struts on their own are manageable, but the Cossacks to go with it's probably a bit of a deal breaker. You see how Dan's trying to run around some side of the state militia, maybe the state capital, and try and maybe get a gate in the wall. But I think he's realised the Cossacks on the northern side. He has to actually go around the other side of the Strelets and take them full on. Actually, buying back the Explorer at full price here, it seems quite expensive. Minutemen being called again, that batch finally available. So Minutemen, State Militia, Explorer, so close to the regulars coming up from the town centre as well. Another 5 musketeers about to hit the floor. There they are. Minutemen now buffed up to the next status. Maybe not, actually these aren't upgraded, unfortunately. So there's the crates of experience, which he does need to gather up to try and send a shipment in behind there. State Militia going down, regulars pretty much going down. And I don't even think 3 Gatlings. You don't have a space or like a little defensive square to send them in. Like if it's like a little wall here, a little wall there, you've got a little pocket to put them in possibly. But Dan calling the GG already, and the USA counter-pick into Russia has spectacularly failed, it seems.
Yeah, looks like the strategy Daniel was trying to pull it up didn't work. And yeah, Boss did a good job of keeping this game to his hands, not letting Daniel gather any resources, always staying in his base. Yeah, well played by both players.
I think you can see like this game really like just identified in. So the villagers were being continuously trained, but a few vills were being missed there from Dan as he tried to kind of prioritise getting the food required for the age up. But the idle vills as well was probably not a great looking viewing statistic there from the United States player. And yes, most of the economy just couldn't do anything trying to get that age up in queue. Did send in the state militia as a pivot, but I think after delaying the coin, once the coin was sent, the state militia were a bit delayed afterwards and took a while for them to kind of get going and picking off the units. Maybe not enough full walling, not enough. Maybe all these buildings could be super close to the town centre, really make all the pathing a bit annoying. A bit of CDB micro, a bit more. Maybe United States players could actually group their CDB to a group like group number 5 or group 6. So that they know, like, oh, we just need an extra volley from range here. Let's call the CDBs. Bam, there's 50 attack there, and then from the CDBs, they push them in, get a tank a bit more. But there's no real way, I don't think, for these. You can kind of get away with the Russia military pressure and still trying to do what the US and United States is doing. And even if we had the United States get up to the 3rd age as they did, the amount of units they had in the 2nd age were getting picked off, but even then, the actual wagon will get picked off, or it will can't find a place to put the fort, or the fort will go down, will get sieged down by all units of full time. Can't go Gatlings because there's Cossacks, can't go regulars because there's Strelets, could go state militia, but have to try and run and kite forever. It's just a mess. Maybe Zapka Ulans, but you don't have 500 wood or 500 food as the age up. It's going to be a tough one. Not too sure we'll see the United States get picked into Russia in the near future. Right, we'll move on to the next one.
Yep, that's 1 point for the CMC. Finally getting some hope for his team.
Oops, need to paste it here. Oh, it's annoying we missed these games being live. It's okay though. They're basically as live as they get. Rename. Was it Baustan 4? Obviously, when we're like 25 minutes behind the schedule, and that game was like a 8-minute game, there's no way we're catching that one in the multiplayer recorded game lobbies there. Right, Baustan 4, let's do it. Doppelson asking Harrison how's the ladies at the gym today. Well, Doppelson, today I actually went for a swim at the local swimming pool. So I was hanging out with all the lovely ladies, and we're going for a nice swim up and down the lanes. It was a lovely time. Yeah, it was actually alright. I haven't been swimming in ages, and I certainly actually recommend people to go swimming. It's such a full body workout, and now it's getting more into the winter. Well, you know what? The pool is always warm. Always warm. It's always going to be under a roof. And yeah, it's good. Did you go swimming much, Jazz?
Alright, so Daniel gets to lock himself first in this game, so he picks friends. And we see this matchup again, which was played like one game before. And that game, Boss lost the game, but now he wants to try it again. He played Germany. Now let's see what plan he has got now. Probably fix his macro this time. Probably gets his timing right.
Do you do much swimming at the moment, Jazz?
Swimming? No.
Any sports? Anything?
Sports? Yeah. I play badminton.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Just checking that all our ESOC buddies have lives outside of Age of Empires. You know, there's sometimes we always like spend quite a lot of time, you know, casting games, enjoying all these highlights in this virtual world. But sometimes, you know, outside is pretty cool as well. But not as cool as stealing 100 food treasure. Study table coming across, gets the shot. And I think he actually picks up ahead of BIGS as well. That's a lovely pickup there from Daniel. We'll be very happy with the XP, the 100 wood food. And oh, he almost got the snare off again. I think he was trying to get into the melee mode, but unfortunately tried to instead shoot the BIGS' explorer's head in the back. But obviously in this game only does a bit of damage, and actually the snare is what you really want, and BIGS is free to run away back to the town centre. And yeah, but extra bit of food there for Daniel, especially with the trading post. That may actually ensure that he can get away with a 13 CDB age up here. He does have water buffaloes to gather in transition, or in age 1 to try and help him. Looks like he's positioning these water buffaloes so that he can gather them in the first age to try and ensure this idleless time. And yes, he's going to go for the 13 CDBs. I think for a second I thought I saw him cancel the 13th, but no, I think he's just reassuring himself that he was committing to 13. And yeah, it should be a really good start here for the French player.
Yeah, it looks solid. He got the treasure stolen. Yeah, boss needs to be careful, like when he's picking the treasure in the middle, you know, your opponent can contest it, and his explorer HP got low, and that was the issue the last time when he was playing this matchup, because his TP got denied because his explorer's low HP. So he needs to be really careful where is he picking the treasures on the map.
Yeah, I like look at BIGS' scouting pattern. He's gone out, he's been beaten away by this one treasure. He's basically gone back. Like he feels like he's like, I'm not gonna say scared, but he feels like Daniel is winning like the pressure contest at the moment, because also he's got this native scout and explorer, so they're all kind of looking for each other. Oh, this is really nice play here from Daniel. He's seeing the explorer. He knows what this explorer is, so he knows that he's free to go for this treasure. Or is actually Daniel's been an absolute chad here. He's actually leaving this 80 wood treasure alone, and he's actually prioritizing this German explorer. Low HP again. He's going to go for the pickup again. This always happens to me when I play Germany. I always lose my explorer age 1, and it just seems it's such a strong play for these players to try and, you know, focus this down and try and hunt this explorer down. It's so key for Germany to get their train post in transition, but if you delay it by killing an explorer, it's such a win.
Yeah, that's a really good job done by Daniel. Really keeping the explorer off from doing anything on the map. Basically, you know, Daniel can take the treasure for free and also try to harass, like when the Germany is building his TP.
So looking back into the French players' base, obviously got the age 1 trading post. That doesn't need to get the trading post in transition. Hunting dog's being researched now. Place miners behind. Still chopping wood. Actually, it's going out at 50. Would he go all the way up to? He's already got this 80 wood treasure here. He could go up to 120 here and get a second trading post out on the map, which could be quite nice. Could quickly cancel the place mines just to ensure if he has that wood to throw down the trading post, and then maybe re-chop for the place mines afterwards. He's left it hanging there, so it might just be wood for steel traps and no second TP, as we say. I'm surprised he's actually let BIGS get this trading post. It might be a repeat of actually this explorer going down. He's only got 71 HP. This will be close. I think that trading post will go up, especially if Dan's not actually going to get super close to this explorer.
Yep, but at least I think he'll get the Explorer killed, get the 45 XP.
Well, yeah, this one's going down, but on the age up, he's got to be careful if he doesn't go back to the town centre again because he made that mistake the first time. And I suppose he's not next to the train post to self-revive, so he has to wait till. Basically, the only way this explorer will get revived is the Uhlans, so it's probably best for Dan to make a hastily retreat out of there. I can't help but think, but like Dan, he's got his scout, but both that scout and explorer should have been camping that trading post. This is you know what's happening, and you know that's the best way to annoy a German player. You should be really kind of giving it to them and just let them know that you are there, and they can't have that trading post, and may have to deal with a church instead.
Yep, I guess he wants to take the treasure for free, like have it more safer. But yeah, I think the prioritizing the Explorer is pretty big. Like denying a TP for Germany is pretty big. All right, 3 settler wagon getting shipped by Germany. That's the first part.
Yeah, so
Looks like the same strategy.
Yeah, just stand it open in here. It looks like he's going early steel traps here. I know that a lot of players recently, they've really been kind of preferring going steel traps on the 700 wood. So this might be, the early steel traps might give him the food to try and do the same build again, i.e. the 5 Uhlans, the 700 coin age up and try, and maybe get up a little bit faster here with the water buffaloes and steel traps. But I don't know, that the 3 settler wagon and 700 coin just didn't feel to work last game that well. I wonder if he'll stay with the same idea, or we will mix it up and go into 700 wood, get some houses down, maybe a racks, get some more Uhlans out, and try and really win this age 2 Cav war versus a French player.
Yep, Daniel gets the 5 batch of Hus now, compared to the last time he only got 4 Hus. So his 5 Hus was perfect batch. He's getting more treasures on the map. Yeah, pretty good for French so far.
Oh yeah, but French's start of this game has been really good, hasn't he? He had that food treasure stolen. He had the 80 wood. He's killed the explorer from 1 XP. He's had the train post down. Got 13 Ville age up as well. Everything so far from the French build has gone really crisp, nicely done, and just the 4 Uhlans there from the German batch because he went steel traps. And that's the problem with steel traps, is sometimes that 5th Uhlan is a little bit hard to get. Maybe it's a housing issue as well from the German player. Like you don't, like he's had to basically buy, I think, in the market 2 houses because he probably chopped a steel trap. But he had to buy a bit of wood to get the remaining houses to get there. And he's sending 700 coin behind this. So he's basically using the market to buy the kind of the immediate amount of wood, then using the coin to age up and trying to hope to get like a real good age up time behind this. And kind of skip the 700 wood idea at all, and actually the German explorer getting picked off again for more XP. A couple of Hussars out here for Daniel, try and chase the Uhlans, but they're a little bit far. But I think the idea is trying to get these guys snared so that these remaining Hussars come in actually can cause a lot of damage. And yeah, they actually Native Scout actually comes out and actually is going to get the snare off from these Uhlans, but you have to argue that Dan's a bit deep there. Maybe the Minutemen called from BIGS is possible. Another Uhlan batch is about to get completed, and Dan's treading a risky line here, getting that close to the town centre of a German player.
Yeah, a really risky play, but yeah, he just got out in time. Boss should have just took the fight over there, I feel like.
Only with Minutemen support, because these amount of Hussars from table. Yeah, he's got 9 Hussars. 9 Hussars easily demolish 9 Uhlans. It's only with the Minutemen coming to the play does it kind of go back into the kind of the Uhlans' favour there. And nearly there's a single Uhlans being trained from the stable. But that could have been a big batch of 4 or 5 if he wanted to complete the batch. And if that fight was on, he could have certainly reinforced there and then to demolish a fight. But BIGS is kind of sat back because I think what he really wants, he wants to age up. He wants to be like, okay, you got your colonial Hussars. That's cool. I've got my untouched colonial Uhlans, which I'll upgrade to veteran status. And like this is like the 9 Uhlans shipment from age 3. I know it sounds obvious, but like this provides so much tempo in the 3rd age that you've actually got some cavalry left over to upgrade. So when you do send in your skirmisher shipment, you've actually got a decent army already.
Yep, definitely. So this time, Boss did manage to get off this age up as planned. Did send 3 settler wagons, 700 coal, no wood yet, but he still managed to get age up faster than his opponent. But Daniel like did get like more hussars this time to contest with the Uhlans, but it looks like it didn't do much. It just killed one villager and it's just backed off. And now both players are aging.
Oh, aged up, do you mean? So Baus is up. Daniel is so close to aging. He's age up fast. But he's again gone for the 700 wood, 700 gold. Oh, he's going for the hussars. I don't. Does he want to do this? He doesn't know that the veteran tech is coming behind. Oh, it's not actually because he still hasn't got the wood. He's going 9 islands first, but I don't know where he's getting this wood for. This tech is that he's going to have to chop more of this mine. He's actually now on the trees with settler wagons, but that actually could have been a bit of a low-key good trade there for Daniel if he could trade off colonial units for his Uhlans before the 9 Uhlans hit the field and before the veteran tech gets researched. But I think he's going to try and go for the kind of Dragoon play, send 5 goons, train 5 goons, and yeah, play from there.
Yeah, both players are getting their grade codes up this game, and Boss is really having issues with the pop because he didn't send the wood crates. He's trying to get wood from trading in the market. He really needs to be careful with the population.
Look at these Uhlans
It's a full
crossing the
Ulan
field,
yeah.
but they're still H2 though. Baus, oh, he's getting his Uhlans now, but he's just trying to force the fight is okay, but he's got time that's perfect because any time he's fighting with another upgrade, it's brutal, and I think he's going to lose a couple before it comes in. Like this is not great. But it's okay. The veteran tech comes in now, but the goons here, actually, some of these goons here fighting the explorer. This is not great here for Baus. The Z move here, not working well at all for Daniel. He needs to chase them in, and all the hussars get cleaned. And the dragoons are still faffing around with this little German explorer finally getting picked off Dietrich by him. But it's the Uhlans getting away for free. That's a great pickup there for Baus, and certainly giving him now this kind of mental advantage, the momentum in the third age.
Yep, definitely. This time Germany is keeping their units alive, and that means that's really huge for Germany. Can mass up really big and just crush the fight. And now Germany is sending the skirmisher shipment and training war wagons.
All this time though, he's been chopping with settler wagons for houses. He's only got the 3 chopping, but I have a feeling he's been buying at the market just a little bit to kind of supplement, but just it just feels like this not going for any wood crate shipment whatsoever. It's just not the ideal way for Germany to go about their business. And yes, Daniel still with the score lead, but his dragoon count here is really quite a nice level behind this. He's got up to 15 skirmishers, 14 dragoons. He's been trained full batches of 5 skirm, 5 goon. Lost a couple in that fight, not many, maybe 3 tops. But it's all looking fine. 3 Ulan raid trying to raid the top berries and hunts, but the French player not up there just yet. French player being very wise to kind of keep his eco in the middle part of the map. That's where basically his forces are themselves, so he can quickly respond to any raids.
Yep, we see French player now training the cuirassiers to mix it up in the composition. And Germany getting a huge mass of units, getting scrims, war wagons, trying to push.
He's got 20 Uhlans out on the field, but his skirm count's only 8. I suppose that he's not really trying to win the skirm war, but if you can't pick off dragoons with your skirmishers effectively, then it's actually going to be quite tough here for the German player to make much inroads. Dragoons just having a great time. That's an instant one-hit kill from the French skirmishers and the German war wagons, and Baus is running for it. He's not even wanting to take the fight. He's just noping out of there, and the French player behind here just training cuirassiers, sending 3 cuirassiers as before, getting onto another hunt. He's basically felt comfortable. He can get onto his hunts now. He's not really under much pressure. But I was thinking he can try and trade 8 skirmishers versus Dan's 20. It's not going to work. And yeah, even if it's just going to be like a batch of 2 cuirassiers, maybe buy one at the market, it's still going to be quite nice for him as well. Just to have something just to kind of hold those Uhlans in place when the dragoons go to work like we had last game.
Yeah, I wonder if the boss has racks up. Yo, he does. Okay. I think he just bought it off from the market. Now he's training scrims. The cav combat coming in, so he's gonna push soon when he has the mass. And the French players send in cuirassiers. He needs to get the cow combat during the fight.
Yeah, I suppose from the German point of view, he wants the cavalry combat because he can. He's well, he could send 3 war wagons instead, and I think the 3 war wagons here is probably. It feels like that's probably the smarter idea because he just needs a bit more stuff to deal with the Cuirassiers. The Cuirassiers here is now starting to be the problem here for the German player. Cavalry combat will boost everything. It's hard. It's a close one. It's most of his army is cavalry anyway, so it's not a bad shipment. It just depends on the question is, has he got enough anti-cavalry versus the Cuirassiers? I think that's the only thing is, and with the 7 war wagons behind this, with just a little bit of extra damage, 15%. It's probably about another 1 war wagon worth of damage in total. How does 8 war wagons do versus Cuirassiers? 8 times by 50 approximately, times by 3 is 850, 400, about 1.2k, 20% range resist. It could actually I think 4 war wagons or 3 and a 4 could actually one-shot Cuirassier and get one really injured. So yeah, a bit of split micro here could actually go quite far for theonlybaus.
Yeah, looks like both players are just messing up the units. Not much happening. Just gonna get the units out and just push whenever they feel like they want to go in. I feel like the Daniel could take the mid TP. It's pretty much uncontested. So
But why though? I don't think it doesn't give you much return, and that's the thing is it might send you your 1,000 gold shipment 15 seconds earlier. It doesn't really provide much of a push though as the game goes on. I think if he wasn't going to go for the second trading post, he would have got it in the second age from the 700 wood, or in transition to the second age when he had all those wood treasures. That would have been the time to go for it. But now he's going falconets, he's going Cuirassiers. Falconets kind of forces the German player to react, maybe trying to commit the war wagons onto focusing the falconets themselves, but that should allow the kind of dragoons and skirms to get free range over these war wagons. Kind of like to see these Cuirassiers being held back in reserve from a different kind of control cav group. I'm a bit worried that Dan has got this kind of like Cuirassier dragoon in the same control group together, which would be a bit awkward if it is. I think it is. You can just see how he's moving it is. That's not ideal, having heavy cavalry and dragoon in the same kind of ranks. Because what you don't want to do then is once the fight's happened, you don't want to touch your control groups then, because if you issue a command to pull back your goons, you're going to pull back your Cuirassiers as well, and that's going to be really counterproductive here. So I really hope Dan can go from 2 control groups up to 3, because this could be really inefficient, but maybe it's just moving units across the battlefield, and when the fight happens, it's just a bit of drag micro, because I think that's what he needs instead.
yep, Dan gets the falconets now. Now it's about to get serious. Both players are pushing in, and let's see how it goes. Really depends on the positioning right now. Oh, the
Baus
Uhlans.
doesn't know where those Falcons are. If he even is Falcons, he nearly charged headlong into the army, just not knowing what's going on. I don't think Dan really. I think Dan had a bit more of a view of what was happening, but the Falconets are leading. Okay, he's got some vision of the skirms. Here comes the first volley, and yeah, now that the fight's happening, 2 skirms going down, and Baus again retreating. But I think if he's got the cav combat advantage and French player does not have cav combat, this is the time to go. Because if and when France goes for cavalry combat at a later point, it's certainly going to turn the tides right into the French players' favour.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, you could get the arsenal and get the upgrade. But what are the 4 Uhlans on the top?
Just speculative raiding, but we don't have is then being forgotten about. I think what Bounce is hoping for is that as the hunts run out, he's going to push to the northern side, which most players do, but he's actually gone on the southern side. So in this case, it's worked out quite safer. But what he wants to try and do, cause a bit of action over here, a bit of disruption, get Dan thinking with his army where moving, and then he's going to go for the raid. And the fact that I see Dan grouping all his Cuirassiers and Dragoons in this one box, I know he's a team player and treaty player, but is this a sign of lack of APM possibly? This raids could be a bit of an issue for him, and yeah, Baus put 4 Uhlans in, then pull them back, kind of keeping them there just to go again at later points, see what magic he can achieve with those Uhlans, because that's the thing with Germany. Like, you can just have a really poor game, but a massive raid with your Uhlans on Vils, and the game's just changed directly in your favour. And that's just, it can take as short as 10 seconds of just not thinking straight, and then bam, all your Vils are gone. It's like, oh no.
Oh yeah, I think why Daniel's grouping like that is because he got Falcon. It's like he doesn't want to have so much control groups. Like during the fight, I think he could micro it with that box.
Afro has just commented this is the most boring match he's ever seen. Both armies dancing for 15 minutes, but yeah, this has been a tense 15 minutes of positional micro kind of mind games, and yeah, there's the first Falcon headshot, and BIGS again on the retreat here. He does see the cavalry charging in, so he's kind of hoping that the cavalry came to a little bit disjointed here from the skirmishers so that he can kind of capitalise, but both players are feeling very tentative here when they want to take the fight. Cavalry combat is just coming here for the French player here. Let's look at the only BIGS. He's sending cavalry HP for his Uhlans and war wagons, so he's kind of wait for this tech to come in, but I feel that he has missed his timing in particular. I feel Germany had that power spike, but now France has come into its own. And yeah, upgraded Cuirassiers are doing very, very well. 573 HP, 33 attack. There's the Falconets firing. They're trying to focus on the stable here. And again, a bit of pathing around the buildings here from Germany. There was opportunities to fight in the open. War wagons go topside, but the Dragoons may peel off to do with the war wagons. Cuirassiers being built back. You see how he's pulling back the cavalry. He did not need to pull back the Dragoons, though. He pulled back everything, but he only needed to pull back the Cuirassiers. It's just a kind of awkward play here from Daniel in that sense, and maybe it's something that other team managers are looking out for and something they can exploit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the Germany players should send some rounds from the backside. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is the fight.
Yeah,
that's a good
he's just charging his Uhlans. He's chasing the skirms, chased down, but it's actually kind of thinking, actually, can you focus these Dragoons down with anything first? Falcons getting some good volleys onto the skirmishers. Skirmishers just pulling back at the moment. They're probably Z moving back at all. Cuirassiers moving to body block the Uhlans. The skirms are protected. The Dragoons are actually nice and tight here for Dan. There's 12 goons still standing, and just to kind of like maybe keeping the goons and the Cuirassiers together is actually a nice defensive move in some strange, but BIGS just kind of dragging all his Uhlans in one click from one side of the battlefield to the other. It has just not worked again for the second time. The skirms untouched, the Dragoons are mainly standing, the Cuirassiers took the full front of the Uhlans, and now behind it's a real good skirm goon competition here for the French player, and the 5 Cuirassiers are very strong. He's actually scouted this emergency stable coming up, and I think Dan's going to pull his Cuirassiers over there, and this is big trouble now for the German player.
Oh yeah, that fight, like Falcon stayed too alive for a long time, and the Uhlans were just bumping over each other, trying to get on top of the scrims, but yeah, Daniel did manage to kill those Uhlans, so yeah, very nicely done. And looks like Daniel's in a big lead now.
Yeah, even sending 7 scum training a batch of 3. More Cuirassiers being trained behind this, and yeah, that's a sad pop between the Explorer Minutemen. I think Minutemen and Explorer Timings is one of those things you can always go for the Minutemen first, but you should always know when that cut off to revive the Explorers. I don't actually quite know when it is. I can't comment. I'm going to assume it's like, well, when it's like the Minutemen's like 75% done, go click that Explorer button when he gets out, dust himself down, and go for the snare attack. But yeah, it feels like BIGS is doomed if he sits, he's doomed if he pushes at the moment, especially with this low amount of Ulan mass, and the Dragoons again moving to a great position to try and cut him off. More Cuirassiers coming to the top. Another war wagon gets sniped down with no response here from BIGS. I think that's the thing, it's the no response there from the skirms, and yeah, just more value going for the French player. Coin at the top for the BIGS out. He's gone through this coin mine. Next coin mine is on Dan's side of the map. He needs to move over there, but that's quite a lot of walking to get there. The silver mine to the southern side is under Dan's control, and coin on this map anyway is just always light. It's very limited. 20 minutes in and nearly out of it from all sources. Udasi doesn't provide much coin help relief. Let's look at what Udasi do here. It's just gather rate, but there's no real like aid into building estates or getting some natural coin mines or something like that. Nice rate of the Urans onto the CDBs if they see that, but I think Sote will just push on. He probably ignore that and just try and push on and catch what he can here, because he does see the Urans going down. He does see he has the numerical superiority. Okay, he's going to try and pull back, and actually, the Dragoon's going to chase the Uhlans. Is actually kind of what BIGS wants, and yes, I think Daniel's clicked this. He's going to go chasing the army of the German player. German player in full retreat at the moment, back to his base, and yeah, Dan's just going to say, if you can go back to your base, I'm going to try and cut up to the north of the map, and maybe try and hunt these elusive coin mining vills from this far silver mine.
Yeah, BIGS can't do much right now. All his units are just died on the field, and now his villagers are just running for the gold mine. And this looks like it's gonna come to an end very soon.
Yeah, Ulan's going straight in, but it's just easy pickings there for Dragoons, especially when they're coming in like groups of 8 at a time. It's like it's if you're going to take a fight, everything needs to happen at the same time. So maybe actually Skirms lead the wave and Warbugs back in, when Ulan's coming from 2 flanks at the same time. So kind of like let Skirms take up some of the volleys first. But if cavalry charges in first, they take the first full volley from the Skirms, the Goons, and then get held by the hand cav. They all just melt instantly, and yeah, I think that
That's
game.
a victory for Daniel. Yeah, taking the series three wins. That's a series win. All you need to do to win the series is get 3 wins.
Well, it's not. It's
And
not. Oi, oi, oi! It's not series win. It's points win. It's a playable fight.
yeah,
We've got one more. There's no such thing as series wins. It's every game is as equal as each other. So we go to the 5th game.
yeah, no, but like winning 3 games is a series win because you get more points,
Ah,
right?
yeah. Technically, when you say series wins, people might think the series is over, but it's not. Got one more to
No,
go.
it's not. It's playoff 5.
That fight again, not great. Not great if you have to be honest. I know most of his population again is probably overdone in Ulan, so maybe the French players' army just starting off with great, but I think Ulan's going to be held into 2 different groups. I think we've seen some that's how it goes, because we did see quite a lot of Ulans like all blocker, like 40 of them trying to run in between like a house, a stable, the town centre, and like the path in wasn't really available there for Germany to be defending. But if there's like 2 groups of 20. Maybe could have got a better success, like especially if 20 come from the front and then 20 wrapping from behind. Did you see like the AZAC game versus Lucas earlier today, when the AZAC came in with like a nice reverse flank of the Hussars and just cleaned up the Lakota army? Like that's the kind of like movement style I'd like to see German players start to kind of move into, and really make the most of like the surface area, the kind of the Ulan's strengths, and just trying to really focus down their counter units like the Dragoons. Because if you try and go for the skirmishers and don't do the damage dealers, of it, which are the Dragoons, you're gonna have a bad time. And those Uhlans just got melted away. In the end of 63 Uhlans being trained and on the field. That's quite a lot. It's quite funny to see. Ville population a bit of rain later on, but yeah, that's to be expected during that fight. A couple of us going down. At least with the emergency stable and maybe that settler wagon a little bit more. But yeah, Dan didn't really lose so many vills. That H1 from Daniel was really good. That H2, okay, the H1 and H2 from Daniel just fantastic this game. I've got to say, really high level, nice treasures, nice adaptation to build, nice crisp shipments coming off, and yeah, showing the strength of the semi-FF. And Germans' fast fortress here, not quite hitting the mark again. Ooh, right.
Alright, we got one more game, play all 5.
Yeah,
So this time it's the boss who's gonna lock the game first in the last game.
Nice. Okay, let's go downloads.
I'm probably gonna expect he's gonna pick Russia again. And let's see.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see like the BIGS of the semi-finalist BIGS we knew from the Legacy tournament. I had a great tournament run here, and Dan's strong opponent. But I don't really see Dan play much recently, to be honest. Maybe Dan's been lifting heavy weights recently and come back nice and strong for a couple of weeks for his EPL, and maybe stick around a little bit longer afterwards.
Oh, different matchup. Okay, the boss picks France over here in this game, and Daniel gets the counter pick, so he's now picking Japan.
Why has Daniel just thrown down his cherry orchard to the front of his base? What are you doing, son? That's just an error. That is. I mean, he's probably a bit confused of which way the map spawns early on in the game. It happens to everybody. Maybe he's thinking actually position with the trees, the mine, the hunt is probably the only place he could. But yeah, so that's awkward having a single cherry orchard. Wait, no, it's not a single cherry orchard. Where's the second one? Because it's not a berry map, is it? Oh, so
No, it's not a berry map. It's
fine.
scouting. Yeah.
It's fine. I'm okay. My panic is alleviated because he got a second orchard ritual, and that can be dropped. Well, yeah, the trees really are annoying, aren't they? Have one there.
The
have
trees
one
are
here.
very scarce.
Yeah, he's going to have to put it here, but I don't know where you put the sugar shrine. Really? Here? Block this. Have a sugar shrine consulate wall across here. There's the trees and have the shrine. I don't know. Let's consult an architect in base building design. So this structure they're working on here from the Japanese players, 60 wood, very nice, will help them get the shrines. We do see 2 villas being shipped, card number 1, villager being trained, Portuguese consulate just hitting the floor, idle time at the town centre, now gonna build a shrine. Yeah, you have to say, I mean, what's the point of going 2 villas if you're housed for an entire ville? Like, I think now this is basically saying 300 wood's just better than 2 villas, surely.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what Daniel's trying to do. The 2 wills says me like he's gonna play aggressive in H2, or he's just trying to be more greedy, getting more wills out.
Hey, but he's gone Portuguese consulate though. This is what's confusing me. On Portuguese consulate 2 villas. I keep saying there's lots of variations on Japan openings, but the 2 vil Portuguese cons is a new one on me, and I think he's just realised that the housing issue there's a bit of a hard thing to kind of circumnavigate. Looks like they're going to work on 100 food treasure now with 3 Cougars. Oh, big divine strike there. And I'm going to need to sneeze in a second. I feel the sneeze building up. And Bao's sneaking around here for a treasure steal, but I'm expecting a divine strike here to snap it off. It's not though.
Oh no!
That's the classic. You right click a treasure and the explorer just walks around the half side. Yeah, I know. Everyone feels that.
Felt like boss got it for a second, but nope.
That's the one thing. Like I kind of wish they kind of like nailed down and focused on it and fixed. Not saying that I don't blame, because it's quite hot. Because it's always been there. Is sometimes it's like the clicking the treasure before or after the treasure's gone down. Because I think what happens most of the time is players click the treasure while there's a treasure guardian still alive, because that action of clicking the treasure, by the time that is actually actioned, is like a little bit delayed afterwards, and by the time that's when sometimes the treasure guardians go down, so that's when it causes some of the issues that sometimes it goes through, sometimes it doesn't. And yeah, looks like Sturdy Table, it got the shot, Baus goes in for the instant steal, and Dan's monk went for a walk, because like actually no, he should have bent down as well. So kind of a bit of one-on-one, 1-for-1 in terms of treasure stealing action there.
Oh yeah, I want to see what boss is doing. Like, he took 1 TP. Want to see what he's gonna do with Japan. He's gonna rush, or is he gonna play a fortress game?
Well, if you go in Portuguese consulate, you kind of feel that you are sitting on the back foot. To Sugar Shrine, these pronghorns are kind of walking in a bit of a far direction. Batunas maybe can pick up some of these animals from the front of the base behind this. Nice shrine location here for this monk. It's a really good location. He's going to sit around here and wait for that shrine to come. It's probably the best one. Baus herding in this pronghorn nice and early. He knows that he doesn't want any of his hunts being idled or being shrined. 2 villas pushing across the map forward from this position. Looks like he wants to drop down like maybe double racks in this location here and here. Siege his shrine, occupy this hunt as well. And yeah, double racks bow pike play from French is kind of... Is it come back into fashion? Because he's sending 2 across. It feels like that's what he wants to try and do here. He's aging up the quartermaster, trying to get I think he's trying to get enough coin here for the steel traps upgrade. When he's going to go full on food and wood eco.
Oh yeah, definitely. Daniel sees the two CDBs there, and Boss has the scout, so he denied the wall segment from going up. Oh, but he needs to pay attention. The Will is gonna build the wall up. Okay.
I don't think that's a that's a massive issue at all. To be honest, there's no way you can really consistently deny that. But yeah,
Yeah, it's near the TC line of sight, so.
Yeah, these two CDBs there on the Ford Bison has been fully scouted out by Daniel. And the thing is, because it's been scouted out, he's like, okay, you've got me. I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to start hunting because, yeah, might as well. Japan up ahead in age before the French player. So Baus only reaching that second age now. Does have the wood behind. Enough coin to get the steel traps. But I'm hoping he's throw down a building first before reaching steel traps. There's one building. There's the second racks, double racks here. 700 wood being sent at home. Then maybe going to steel traps afterwards. So it looks like a confirmed double racks bow pike rush. And in this situation from Baus, how would you open? Would you go 10 bow? Would you go 10 pike? Would you go split?
Split is good. He can siege the shrines and also do some pressure with the bows. But yeah, let's see what he does. The siege is really good because you can get the shrines down.
What about the second batch? I think maybe the first batch is like a bit more like a sure everyone's got an idea, but the second batch everyone's like, oh, 10 bows, or do I go for a second batch of 5 pike, 5 bows? Because 5 pikes is kind of does siege its shrines too slowly. There's shrines all over the map. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. Like, is 10 bows really enough to put pressure? Do you need all 15? Do you need to go full on double batches behind us? And actually, look at this. We've got market coming from down by Daniel. Don't worry, I sound surprised because I thought it was a stable for a second. So that's why I was teeing up that kind of voice. I was like, oh my god, look at this. Oh, wait, it's just a market.
Yeah, but looks like 10 crossbows. So he did train a full batch of X-bows and straight walking in. But like you said, the archer position is not great.
He's going 20 crossbows. He's no pikes, just 20 crossbows. Get into that town centre out of the vills. There's enough Yumi archers here. It's actually a really nice defence so far planned from Daniel, and the Portuguese consulate here allows him to go for that batch of Portuguese crossbows at a later point as well. So actually, can Baus really win this by going 20 bows and then maybe following up with some musks or a batch of bow pike afterwards? Because it feels to be too good to be true if that was the case.
Yeah, the Yumis are very strong against the crossbows, and there's wall also, which is gonna mess up the parting. I think Japan would be able to hold here with some of the Minutemen.
Look at this chitin here from the Japan player. This chitin is very, very nice. A couple Yumi archers going forward there, and so the veil was a bit of a mistake, but it's not too much of a problem. Looking at Table's point of view, he has resources for one batch of Minutemen. He's going to maybe try and time it. I think he should go for the rifles now. I think rifles and the remaining Yumi archers is certainly worth it. Might complete to go for, is it two Yumi archers? I think Yumi archers cost about 55. Yeah, you can get another 2 Yumi archers instead. Minutemen could have been a possibility there, but it's okay because the town centre and these Yumi's archers just dominating. And I think the micro there from Daniel was just really on point there.
And Japanese guy is gonna get the ports expos. He only needs 400 expos for that, and now it's slowly going up there. And the Yumis are doing really nice work.
He's actually getting himself the food upgrade on the berry bushes, so he must be feeling very comfortable in his position right now. Has the export now for the Portuguese crossbows. Let's see if he gets that research. He is actually taking it now. The 5 ashes about to hit the field as well. This is going to be another big pop of units here from Daniel. I actually would like to see him to delete a wall piece so he can get out and zone off the retreats here from the French player, because there's no way he's staying underneath with the Portuguese crossbows firing as well. Bit of town centre fire as well. Needs a bit more in here to actually do some damage, but here comes the Portuguese crossbows. Out they come, and this is going to be a real strong fight here for the Japan player. The French push here, full on bows, not quite working. It feels like.
Yeah, that's definitely not working as good as he planned. But yeah, Japanese guys really able to hold it off with the Yumis and the Portuguese exposed now.
We could also argue that, like, in the meantime, although they've all been going full on aggro, full aggressive, Japan Japan is on like 26 vills. He's got some shrines, not too many. 2 vill shipment, no heavily cami, so 6 shrines. Jashoga shrine with 5 animals on it. His economy is good. But the French player, like, he's just basically just got steel trap eco, sending crates, 25 CDBs, so he's up to like a 32 vil eco. He's still got lots of crossbows. He doesn't care about the shrines at all. Like, okay, maybe now, like, a batch of 5 pikes instead of 5 crossbows actually would have been actually really nice. But actually, it's something, all these crossbows, you can just basically just say, I'm just going to shove it into your base and do something about it, because it's actually a decent mass, 22 here, and there's not enough stuff here from table. Look at his total units. It's 5 Bestieras, 10 Yumi, 7 Ashi, so it should be enough. Might need to get a bit of Townsend action here. Double Minutemen coming out as well. Where's the snare coming in onto these units? Looks like the snare from the sentry is just about to happen because they're just slightly faster than the crossbows. And yeah, this is when I want to see that wall be deleted and just push up here and try and help that retreat.
Yep, the French eco is really strong, but yeah, Japanese guy is doing a really good job of holding it. I feel like the boss could have got the TP line if the stage code is pretty much free, and then followed up in H3.
Well, I mean, you say free, but like, then you give up like 15 bows production or 10 bows production, and then you just never compete with Japan early Yumis, and it's like, then you'd have to try transition maybe, or like you'd open, let's say, 5 musks, okay, 10 bows, but then maybe get like a batch of like musks, save the wood for the stagecoach, and then try and age, and then give up your forward position, and like feel free like kind of use that as delaying tactics and age up, get the tech, and then try and maybe have the stable back here, maybe just to 1 racks if you're doing the stagecoach play. But yeah, this is kind of gone like not terribly bad, but like I don't think the French players even killed a Ville. That's the real problem here. It's just crossbows versus much stronger units, and there hasn't been any economic damage, and even the Japan player happily to take into market text, but the 5 Hussars here, great pop here, getting everything snared. Ashley's back line here, and Jay's Yumi's marching away, but they're still snared. Okay, Yumi's now focused on the crossbows behind us. Ashley's trying their best to work down the Hussars, but actually this has done so much damage here. There's enough crossbows, very strong units in close range, and the actual forces here from Japan has actually kind of crumbled a little bit there. No more Portuguese consulate crossbows. The Minutemen have gone, and has a 5 Ashy shipment, but that's about it behind that.
Oh yeah, the Huss switch was definitely the goal here. Really did a lot of damage. Pushed back the units back, and now I think Boss is back in the game. Like he has the mass now to push, and his eco is really good. But I also think he should have made 5 pikes in the meantime. Like he could be sieging shrines. Like, he could have killed 3-4 shrines by this time.
It's just some full crossbows, and the thing is, like, this is because this is a team event as well. I'm certain they must have discussed this matchup, or maybe just before the game start off, they discussed about the matchup, and somebody must have made the call. Go full on crossbows, no pikes, go full crossbows. And I wonder if it's like a team decision or just actually Baus going, okay, I'm going to play this game how I'd play it, and this is what I feel like doing today.
I mean, the hustles coming. This might go either way, depending. Like if Japanese guy is gonna pop the Naginatas, it's just too deep.
I think the town bell's been rung. All the villagers are getting to the town centre now. 33 villagers in the town centre. And this is what the bows actually do, because like they just walk into the town centre. They're not scared too much of non-CM fire. The SARS, they don't know where to go. They're stuck. He's got clicks over here. Like he's just trying to get in, but like Yumis are doing pretty decently behind this. A batch of Nagi's actually getting to this crossbows here now. Is actually going to make things a little bit more spicy. Hussar's going to try and move in to defend, but actually most of the crossbows are being taken down now by the Yumi archers, but both the Yumis and Ashi's going to try and focus the Hussars, let the Nagis work on the crossbows. There's outcome the Vills, a couple of Vills still want a couple in the town centre working, but other villas out to tank, and the hussars are running back, and oh my god, that was disastrous there for the French player. Just everything went horrible, and yeah, the lull from Boss comes out. I'm not really surprised, to be honest. Like, 25 crossbows is gone, Pathing a nightmare, villagers still gathering, and Japan absolutely fine in that position, and the game continues.
Game continues with the disappointment. The Hussars not able to move at all because of the parting. That was pretty funny.
We could even argue that this cherry orchard at the front of the base is like the MVP. Like, this has caused so much attention to kind of come this way. Then the wall across the tree, and we noticed how Dan's gathered most of the food from this forward cherries. I mean, now he's on the back just to kind of ensure his safe gathering. Like, he's realised that his forward cherries was a bad idea, but he's just trying to make the most of it by gathering all of them first, so he can have a safe place to go back to as the game goes on.
Oh yeah. I mean, this game, it looks like French guy has a good lead, but then the Japanese guy is always winning the fights, which makes it really harder. Feel like he needs pikes at this point to siege those walls and buildings.
It's not worth training pikes for the walls, though. The constant is way too much HP, the wonder is way too much HP, and if you're sieging the barracks, you're well in deep in the base anyway, so it's not, you don't need the pikes for the siege in the base. You need them to protect from the cavalry units, yes, but it's the kind of the cheaper shrines out the map is where you want to try and kind of get your advantage there. The Explorer comes up, but I'm sure that'll come down again. And BIGS does have a decent amount of hussars now, 5 hussars in the field, but Japan's units come across. I've just realised I've had my game open like for the last 8 hours. I never closed it when I was having my dinner watching Yuki stream and watching you and Robot cast those couple games. So it's probably wise to get a little bit tired of this PC and this game in particular, but this is the last game though, so we should nearly be there. BIGS is in third age. Like, how on earth to get to the third age? I wasn't paying attention. But it makes me a bit curious that he pushed in with 22 bows, 5 huss, and then age behind. Bit of a weird, curious one on that one. Sending falconets, these muskets are soon to be upgraded to veteran musketeers, but not quite yet. He's going to lose the hussars before that happens. Falcons will be sent, but all the way to the hometown centre. It will take a while for them to cross the map. And 32 CB Eco here. Daniel at 37 villagers, but with some, it's still, again, decent shrine. The eco is basically the same, and the military advantage, you can argue, will soon be in BIGS's favour because of the tech advantage and then the falconets and how much pressure they exhibit. Like, this game has gone, so far this game's gone kind of badly for Japan, but it's still actually looking not too bad here for France. It's a bit of a weird one. Look at that, boom.
Yeah, now the French has come back. The problem is Daniel did ship the 2 wills at the game, which made him not to shrine boom that hard as usual. Like, usually Japan has 200 pop shrines, but yeah, that's
Are we thinking the 2 vills is a bit of a mistake here in terms of the game? We now see that the Yumis are working on the musketeers. There's not enough boys blocking. 1 falconet goes down, but does trade the 5 Nagis for 1 falconet. So again, it's not too bad here for the BIGS. I think that's a decent trade. Dan's probably having to back out here and wait for another big batch of Nagi Yumis. Going for the daimyo behind this is kind of staying away from the production facilities, which is a wise decision because we do see a batch of vet musks being trained, skirms being shipped, and it looks like Yumi Nagi is the playstyle here from BIGS, and that's certainly a good combination to have. Looks like the cherries are nearly going though, so Dan's gonna be very careful. He's got only 1,500 more food to survive, so he really needs to have his shrines on the food eco and have his actual villager gatherers on other resources to try and maximise the length of that cherry orchard life.
Yeah, but he needs to send the cherry orchard shipment right now, else he won't have much reinforcements. This would be his last hold with the daimyo.
Do you think his daimyo shipment there is more of like I want to finish this now, and like kind of trying to kind of commit to not an all in, but like trying to commit to like a concerted push, like I want this game to finish now, because otherwise, actually, it's a bit of a tricky situation here for Japan because he's only got 1,000 food remaining and he's halfway to another shipment, so it'd take a while for that to happen. It looks like Dan's just spamming the train, the Naginata rider, and he's gonna come in now. And that Falconet again exposed. The Musk's going in. Every time that Falcon fires, should be moving forward if he wants to really siege that shrine. Yumi's going to go into stagger mode, and Nagi, southern flank here, that's a really nice Daimyo getting up and close and personal. Nagi's actually making contact here with the Falconet. Musk's going to fire it down as well. And now it's just Yumi archers with Daimyo support on top of just Musk's behind. Where are the skirmishers? Oh, they're finally coming on the map. There's a big batch of skirmishers, but the double batch of Nagi's here actually is going to be a super, super crucial pop here. Musk's going to try and get some melee, but you see how Dan goes in, baits the melee mode, but retreats before the melee mode is activating. Just got to clean up the skirms underneath. This is dire for BIGS. His army is getting cleaned up in the third age, and BIGS, he just taps out. He just resigns there and then. And
it looks like the Daimyo was the shipment, GG shipment right there.
Well, it's a strong cavalry shipment. Like, it's 2 hussars and it buffs all your units. Like, it's an incredible shipment in that respect. It is a kind of momentum changing. A couple of Musks here were sieging Shrine. Maybe that's a Z move across, but yeah, a 4-1 victory here for the name Daniel versus the only Baus. And what a good outing there from Daniel. That was really well played. Obviously, always both players well played. And last week, name Daniel, he won 4-1 versus Migo. So this man's on fire. This man has got the form table running in his favour. And I think Migo was possibly a little bit upset losing to Daniel 4-1. So hopefully Baus would also not be feeling too bad losing in this manner as well to Daniel. But yeah, that's going to be it for this series on ESOC TV. Glad you enjoyed. Had to take over short notice from Robot and Jazz, but had Jazz here to help me co-cast, so it's nice to have you alongside as well. Interesting to have a conversation with somebody else for once, which is kind of cool. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Really see this Daniel guy really putting a big performance, and yeah, really enjoyed how the matchups went.
Yeah. Very good. Apologies for the slightly slow Rex. I've left my game on over for like 8 hours now, and we really should have exited the game at least once before the start of the series. But no matter, it's all right, and enjoyed the games. But yeah, that's it for me. Boys, I'll see you all another time. I'll probably do some more. Well, I'll see what I do tomorrow. I want to try to do some sort of Age of Empires stream tomorrow, but I don't know what it is. I'll find out how I feel tomorrow. So I'll see you later, and I'll see you, Jazz, later as well. So goodbye to you, goodbye to me, goodbye to everybody, and goodbye for now. See you later.